Welcome to Art and Conversation, where creativity meets the courage to share. I'm Matty, and every episode we connect stories one dot at a time to normalize talking about mental health and celebrate many forms of human creativity. We can do it as many times as you like, but today I'm with Matt, my best friend. Well, let me say that again, because I think Jenny is your best friend. Today I'm here with Matt, one of my good friends. He's a creative director focused in advertisement, media, and film. Matt, would you like to introduce yourself and give a bit of your background? Who you are?
Yep. Well, I'm Matt. I work with a company called Maca Visuals. We are a video production house, but mostly we're a video partner. So we don't just make a video, but we address it from a marketing point of view. We're a small team, and we just turned 10 years this year. It's been a really interesting journey.
And you've been with them from the beginning.
From the beginning, I started as an assistant camera, and around 2 years after they started, then I joined as a creative director.
Nice. And he's a really good storyteller. And that's why I wanted to have you on board, because I know I am a terrible storyteller, and every time I'm impressed with all the stories you come and give us. But yeah, I have good stories. I'm really bad at like delivering them, but here we are. Anyway, I could learn a lot from you. Matt, so we're gonna jump into painting straight away. This is the sketch that I have, and we're gonna try and achieve it as much as possible. So we have this is how it's supposed to look at the end. We can pick a color. So if you like, we can pick a green, or if you like, we can pick red and create more red dots, or we can pick a purple and create maybe this kind of, what do you want to go for? I'm going to let you choose the color. It needs more leaves, to be fair.
Yeah, we can go with the green.
Go with green?
We can go with the green, yeah.
Okay. We'll just get the green.
Or should we go with the purple so we can see? Like, no, let's go with the green. We need more leaves, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Green, I would say yellow and white. So we'll jump into it. By the way, today, because I literally asked you last week to join. Do you know the premises of this series? Do you have an idea, or you were like, I trust Matt and...
Yeah, I was like, I trust you. I had no idea we were going to paint before I saw well, it's called Art and Conversation, but I thought it was just a cool name.
Oh, okay.
But then when I saw the teaser, yeah.
Oh yeah, we're painting. And we're going to be talking a little bit and touch base on creativity and mental well-being as well.
Very good.
Okay. But first off, I want to start off with your creative background. Like, what does creativity mean to you? You want to try and do the first stroke before, because I think you need a lot of concentration for the first.
I'm not very good at multitasking.
That's why I said concentrate into your first stroke, and we'll see from there.
Okay, let me continue here.
You made the paint, the palette. I will. How do you feel about painting?
I like it. It's. I usually find it very hard to. I don't know. As a creative, I think I'm always trying to find the moment. You know, you're always trying to get into that zone, and with painting, sort of you're physically you're in the moment before you are mentally. So as we're doing, like we're giving the first strokes, but your mind is still not. Well, my mind is still not there.
To be
my mind is still not doesn't know what's going. And this is the first time I'm continuing. I think the fact that we're continuing on someone else's paint It's a collaboration project.
Yes.
So as someone who, I would say I struggle with collaborating projects.
That's not true because you work in collaboration every day with your team.
It depends at which stage you come in. I
The beginning.
come in either from the idea to the canvas, or I'm at the idea stage. But this is someone has already started the canvas.
Okay.
So then it starts getting a bit sensitive, and I feel like I'm ruining someone else's work sometimes.
Okay.
You know.
I guarantee you're not ruining it. But I like that way you've expressed yourself. Really and truly, I've just challenged you today, basically.
Yeah.
Taking you outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
I like
Very
it.
much. And I'm standing up.
To be fair, when I paint, I don't know how to multitask either. So this for me
So you said, let me start a podcast where I have to do it.
No, but it's really and truly, I started it because painting for me helps me calm down, like when I'm nervous. So, for example, in the first episode with Emily, I was super, super nervous. First time actually doing something I'm not used to, being in front of the camera. I do it for funny, for funnies, but I don't really do it for something serious. And this was quite serious, right? We're talking about something quite important. So with Emily, we danced. And then we painted, and after we painted for 15 minutes, I was like, I feel calm, and she's like, I feel calm too. So I'm just touching base with people, what makes me feel calm, like what helps me regulate my emotions, especially when I'm feeling a certain way.
Fair enough.
It might not be for you, but at least you get a touch, a taste of it,
I'm trying to think back at all the Nat Geo TV I've watched over the years and trying to figure out what plant this is. All my trips to the garden center. Remind me, what was your question? What was
Creativity,
yours?
what is it? So creativity in your life, how does it show up?
Well, good or bad, it's mostly through my work. I say
Yes.
good or bad because sometimes I feel that I should do more.
Why?
Uh,
Why should you do more?
I don't know. It's you do get ideas, just like you got this idea of doing this podcast. The difference is you took action and you did it, and
I'm doing it.
you're doing it, and the certain ideas that I get remain ideas, or they get to the point of being scripts and then they stop there.
You're practicing a certain part of your creativity. So you have different types, right? Maybe it's cooking, maybe it's coming up with the idea. Maybe you're not practicing the other bits of your creativity, and that's something you have to take on yourself if you really want to do it.
Yeah, it's finding it's finding the time and the energy for it, because once you come back, since the good thing is that since it is my job, I make it, it means something to me that the concepts, there is a certain standard for them, and that I'm constantly trying to push the envelope, as they say. So that I guess reduces that responsibility of feeling like, when I get home,
You feel
I can watch TV or I can, and I don't feel that guilt that, I feel I've still been productive during the day. And as you mentioned, food is another thing that,
where you express your creativity.
yeah, and it's become the norm. So I cook kind of elaborate meals every day, as in that's dinner.
It's interesting because obviously as creatives, you are an artist, and maybe you don't probably see yourself as an artist, but because you have the ability to come up with concepts, you do fall into that category, right? But it's interesting because you haven't just made it something that you just love to do, but you've actually made it into a career. You've monetized that. You found a way where you can do it and actually make money. And I feel like most creators, most artists struggle with the balance of, I don't know how to explain.
No, I understand. I'm lucky on that regard. I consider myself very lucky. When you're in it, and there's the stress and the workload, and it's easy to forget. But I try to, I try to remain grateful about that aspect of it. That technically my job is, I don't even deal with emails at all. So no one sends me a direct email. Everything goes through the producers, through Maria, through Sean, through Victoria. So I literally just have to deal with people and creative.
Can you take us through the process you go through when it comes to coming up with a concept and trying to pitch it to someone to actually be on board the project and bring that idea to life? So you have a team, right? You come up with the idea,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
it's not just coming up with the idea. So what
It
happens?
well.
Because then you have to pitch it to them. You have to
Yeah.
try and make them understand your concept.
I used to think it was just coming up with the idea.
No, it's never
When I
is.
was young, that's what I used to think. And I used to think if you are creative enough and you have the best ideas, then people would want to work with you. If you have the best ideas.
But yes, you can have the best idea, but you might not be able to pitch it to them in the best way, and that is where people get lost and might not be on board of your concept, right?
Yeah.
So if I didn't pitch to VGB is one of the sponsors. So if I didn't create the right presentation that reached them, they probably wouldn't have given me the sponsor. They wouldn't have given me the space because I didn't pitch it to them in a way that they understand. So it's understanding your client and understanding what language they speak to make sure that they are on board of your project to bring it to life, right? And that's the same with your team.
Yeah.
And that's something you learned.
It happens internally and externally.
Externally, exactly.
It's I think as a creative, I come up with the ideas by myself. Then once I pitch them internally, I have the first stage of getting people on board on the idea. Then I think once I have the people internally on board, the hardest part comes, which is selling to the client. So as you said, the hardest part is actually convincing them that this idea, okay, creative or not, but this idea is what will help them at the end of the day. And I used to think it's still there, but then over the years, it was also the fact of how easy are you to work with. And it's amazing that that's the most important thing.
In your career, you believe that is the most important thing, how easy you are to work with?
I think it's dealing with people. That's the most important thing. I think over the 10 years, everything is dealing with people. If you have a good relationship with the producer, with the production designer, with the sound guy, with the DOP, your result is going to be the best. It could be the concept doesn't have to be that creative or could not fulfill every aspect, but if the marketing team is enjoying working with you, if you are working with a certain synergy with your team, I think that is more important, or at least from my perspective, where I used to push all this, the idea of having the best ideas, of focusing so much on the creative. That was a learning step for me. So it was really like I used to fight a lot with Sean, with Maria, with internally.
That your idea was
That like if I'm trying to, I don't know, if this painting is, I don't know, if something sucks and I think I'm making it better and I'm helping you out, it's irrelevant that I think I'm making it better or I'm adding this creative flair, and you can actually, okay, you can say it is better. But if I am putting you at an inconvenience, or you feel that I have taken the project away from you, or you feel like I'm bulldozing, what's the word, bulldozing? Well,
I know what you
whatever.
mean. When you feel like someone is overstepping and
Yeah.
taking something away
If
from
you're
you.
not comfortable working with me, it's irrelevant how good the idea is. Next
This is
time
how
you
you used
won't.
this is how you used to be.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was a learning curve for me. And throughout the years, everything from the way we receive the clients through the presentation to how we explain the idea, it all stemmed from that point. It all stems from the customer service. And that was a huge, I think that results into, my opinion, a lot of the success that Maka has.
Yes, I think to be a successful creative is to understand that yes, you've come up with a concept, but you can't really execute this concept alone. So it's no longer just your idea. It's our idea. Yes, maybe it came from you, but you're not going to be able to achieve this without anyone else. So it's no longer my idea. It's once I've communicated, it's our idea. And that
Yeah.
is what usually makes a project successful, when the team believes it's our idea, right? If I don't feel like I'm part of this project, I'm not going to do a good job on this
Yeah.
project. If you're a freelancer, so I'm a freelancer, right? If I never had that experience in a company, I wouldn't have learned these things either, because as a freelancer, you kind of do things on your own. So I think when it comes to creative freelancers who are in a company and they're young and they don't understand yet why they can't do this on their own, they have to understand that this is the time they have to learn how to communicate and learn from other people, and how important it is to create those connections. I had to breathe. I need some water.
It's I think the because of Malta and the way it came up through the industry, also a lot of most people are, one-man bands. And they're used to filming their own stuff, editing, lighting. So the fact that then you have to suddenly start working in a group, and you're taking someone's idea and changing it and tweaking it, some idea which you don't know how long it took them, how many revisions happened before that, that's rarely communicated. So you don't know, you're trying to help, but it's more important to be careful of the relationship rather than focusing on the solution. It's like journey versus destination sort of
Yes,
thing.
exactly.
um, and I'm taking too long on my
No,
on
you're
my
taking as much time as you need. You're
on
talking,
my
you said you
little
can't.
on my weed here.
No, you take as much time as you like.
My shading. Where's the sunlight coming from?
There's no, I don't know yet. It's just
My,
me. For me,
I have
everything about this is about
I
winging it.
have dark patches, light patches.
I have to go on the other side. I can't. I have to.
Is it a hand squeezing a heart, and from the
So
heart?
everyone thinks it's a heart. No, they're two hands basically, and they're grabbing each other and lifting each other up.
Okay.
The premises of this is basically, yes, you can do it alone, but it's just much better with someone else, and something grows out of it. It's quite simple in the
Okay.
idea, but everyone who looks at it always gives their input. So someone said that, oh, it looks like a mechanical heart because of the veins and everything. Someone said this is a heart, and you said it's a heart as well. It's really interesting how your ideas actually are coming together and they are connected. So
Yeah. Well,
yes,
now that you say it, I can see the hand, the yellow hand.
yes, your work, your work environment, right? And how much you have to collaborate to actually achieve what you want to do. You can't, reality is, you as a creative, you need other people to help you execute what you need to do.
Yeah.
And you, with self-development, there's a lot of self-development involved in that, and that took years to come to. And that is work related, right? How in your personal life does creativity show up? Like, I know you have a partner who's also creative. Does she inspire you to be creative as well?
When it comes to art, when it comes to design, yeah, I think the beginning of this year, since she's an architect, she designed a house for our rabbit.
Oh, cute.
And it's not just four sides and a roof.
Yeah.
It's like a
It's a
two-story
whole mansion.
villa.
Okay.
Yeah, with design, with the wood panels on the side, and yeah. So, and what I discovered from that project is because I think until you get to the point in a relationship where you have the opportunity to work together
Mm-hmm.
towards something, it is a kind of question mark, okay? Because sometimes you have relationships and then you discover, okay, but working with them is not as fruitful as I thought it would be.
Working in what sense?
Working on an actual physical project.
Together.
Yeah, but it was very interesting, and she's very understanding. Even though my interior design and my expertise when it comes to architecture is close to zero. But it was very interesting, and she still valued my opinions, even though in my eyes she didn't have to.
That's the beauty of relationships, though. You want to have a. It's like it kind of reflects how you look at work as well. So you came to a point in your career where you learned certain things are important in regards to relationships and how you form them in your team. And the same with your personal life as well. So you have your partner and you're understanding now more and more that it's important to have that collaboration with that partner. Do you come up like with creative, I believe like you like cooking together as well?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't say I like.
Really?
I'm the type of person if I'm cooking, everyone step out of the.
Really?
My natural.
So that's yours. That's yours and yours alone.
My
You get to
natural
keep something.
process is usually let me finish something and then I show it to you. Over the years when we started out, feedback used to be because it's an emotion thing. You tie
Yes.
certain emotions to a product which you design, which you create. Um, but now I've gotten very used to certain feedback. So I want you to, I'm gonna make it and you experience it and tell me how to improve it.
Okay, because obviously you've just talked about a lot about collaboration, but it's important we maintain our individuality, and I guess
Yeah.
this is where it stems from. Like you still want to maintain that thing.
I think it comes naturally to like this is something that I it's harder for me to jump on a project that's already been started.
Agreed. I gave everyone that challenge.
But it's in looking when I started to see that even though I'm pitching to clients or I'm taking a concept that they came up with and pitching back a treatment, that's what they're doing. They started something and now I'm continuing it. So they are managing to go past the thing that I struggle with.
Yeah.
So their project has already begun. Someone else is going to continue it, and they're fine with it, and they're accepting of it, and they're helping me, and they're encouraging me to go forward with that. So when I started to look at the client's feedback from that point of view, and even the whole aspect of with design and with photography and with architecture, I think there is a slight advantage when it comes to video. And I'm going to tell you an idea. Imagine a storm, imagine a boat. Uh, Suddenly you're imagining one storm, I'm imagining another. You're imagining one boat, I'm imagining another. So you're seeing, okay, reference images, but we have long discussions about what does this image say. And we've had trouble in the past whereby you pitch someone, we have a protagonist, and in the photo they have a red shirt. And then when it comes to the day, they don't have a red shirt. And the client feels that something is off.
Oh.
Because in the reference photo, they had a red shirt, and we're helping them imagine. So each picture that there is in the slide is going to affect how they're perceiving it. It's with a design, okay, we can make a mock-up design. You can kind of guess how the final result is gonna be. With building, you have the whatever software, and they have the. In our case, we have storyboards, but still, once the camera's in movement, things change. The feeling is different.
How do you keep that individuality? Because that's something you have to hold on to as well, right?
In the beginning, you told me that I shouldn't feel guilty, that I do not, that more my creativity comes from work. That is super collaborative work. And then the stuff that I used to do is more 1, 2 people, 3 people. So once you start reducing that pool of people, you get more control over the. Doesn't mean that the result will be better just because you have more control over it. But it is sometimes you start to you want to see if your inspiration alone is enough to I don't know, to go forward with that idea. Because the scope of work, certain briefs, the problem does help me creatively. So I go into it thinking, okay, this client has an issue. No one knows about the brand, or very few people know about it, or they need to sell more of this. And that helps me, okay, so how to approach it. But when you don't have anything, you're starting from zero, and it could be anything, then it starts to get difficult. And the fact also that once you get used to working with a deadline, not having a deadline, things take much longer to.
This is interesting. So I think before we started filming, you talked about how pressure kind of.
Pressure is good. Pressure is
But
good
why is
to.
pressure good? I want to understand your perspective on that, because for me, I'm different. I'm wired. We're all wired differently. Some relate to others more. I kind of don't relate to that. I think pressure actually makes me sick and doesn't pushes me away from being productive. But why is it the case for you? Why does it make you more productive?
I don't really know. But I discovered that throughout the years that pressure. There's an amount of there's a certain pressure that's good and a certain pressure that's not good. But having that deadline helps. So in fact, what used to happen before was that, for example, I had 2 days to come up with a concept. That was in the past when time felt, well, I don't know. We had more time to do stuff.
2 months.
No, 2 days.
2 days. Oh.
2 days. 2 days. Then this was well back then. I had used to have 4 days, 5 days to come up with a concept. And sometimes at the end of the 5th day, I would go into a panic, and I don't have anything, and I would freak out, and I would go into the office and tell them, guys, I don't know what to do. I have nothing. And then as the deadline comes, suddenly these ideas start to come.
How?
But I'm in that panic, in that rush. So what I did is I started scheduling. I discussed it with them, and I told them, look, I need touch points. So it's useless giving me 5 days and we meet after the 5th day. I need touch points after the 1st day. Let's do a touch point. After the 2nd day, let's do a touch point.
I think that's healthy. I think for creativity, I think that's a healthy. I think not just creativity though. I think it's even important in your personal life. So if you have certain. So there are some people that say, "Oh, I wish I could go to Antarctica." I'm just inventing, right?
Okay.
But they never do, because they never set a deadline, right? They never tell themselves, I'm going to go next year. So they're always saying, oh, I wish, but they didn't take action. And the reality is, because we don't put deadlines or we don't put goals, we can't really achieve anything without them, right? I don't know if I'm saying that's right, but I feel like that can easily be applied to our personal lives as well. So, I want to have some people easy. I want to have kids probably at 35, right? You're not gonna have kids if you don't really plan. Maybe you can have kids earlier.
You can.
That's
Well,
a bad example. Maybe.
I was on plan. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. It's with everything in life, it takes effort. And I think a lot of creative people struggle with getting started. Because you have this high expectation for yourself. Oh, it has to be good, otherwise what the hell am I doing?
Mm.
And now, before I used to pass myself through a lot of stress,
Mm-hmm.
thinking about now I just say, okay, I'm going to start by making something shitty.
Mm-hmm.
And something I love doing is criticizing
Yourself?
myself, other people. I love it. As in other people's work.
Okay.
When it comes across my desk, sort of,
Oh, okay, okay.
or other people's, when I see adverts out there, in my heart or with people internally at work, yes, there is some things I like about it, some things I don't like about it. I don't like this, I don't like this. So doing that with my work is the best. So I start out by making something very, very shitty, and that way reducing
On
the
purpose?
stress. Not on purpose, but just if it's okay, we're gonna have a voiceover, something like whatever. A voiceover is about two hands helping each other. How we're a group of artists and we're supporting each other and we're helping each other out. Some bullshit like that. And it can start off as bullshit. I'm not giving it any love at the moment. It's just a premise. Then I can start to see it with love.
Okay.
You can start to say, okay, what am I really trying to say? What does it mean to help someone out? Break down these aspects and you start to piece them together, looking at it through, I guess, through love, through appreciation.
I guess you have a love-hate relationship with whatever you create at the end of the day.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. For example, this whole project for me, I had an idea, I wanted to execute it. It's a love-hate, so I love the process, but also sometimes I'm like, I wish I could have done that better, but I've tried and I will probably improve it in the future, but I'm not going to hate that it wasn't perfect.
No.
I like that it's not perfect. It shows how I'm developing myself rather than sitting down and doing nothing, right?
Yeah. I think it's not about hating it that it's not perfect. It's about starting with something to it's accepting.
It's accepting.
It's starting with something. This is not going to be perfect. The first thing I create is going to be a rough, and then you can start because once, especially when projects come in and someone tells you how can you improve this, if if you're used to doing that, then with your work you can also apply the same sort of mentality. I like your leaves here. I like the first one that I did. I am less convinced with the other two.
I like it. I can look at it and identify that you have touched it.
That's the parts that are messed up. Yep, Matt, you touched it over there.
I love it. Matt, okay, so the next part of this conversation really, I feel like before we were talking about your career, but it has a lot to do with personal development, right? We didn't like go into the nitty-gritty, but the premises of it kind of is about your personal development. But I want to talk about mental well-being and how you see that in your life or what it means to you.
Mental health. Well, as I mentioned slightly before, that when you create something, it's very personal. And I used to. It's still when I create something or I have an idea and it gets changed in a way that the essence of the idea is starting to change. I do get sensitive about it. It gets very emotional, and uh, I think as I grow more, then I try to skills kind of come by themselves, or to me naturally. I think doing things repeatedly, sort of the skills build themselves. But to be emotionally mature, I need help. I have to stop and say, okay, this is there. This person is not trying to change my project. This person has other motives. This person is trying to make sure that this project is successful. This person is scared that we won't be able to make this project work, or it's stemming from a fear that that project is being changed. But at that point, I need to say, okay, this is, I've tried my best. I'm going to keep trying my best, but I cannot let that hurt me, because this is a job at the end of the day. Whatever it is, even if it's not a job, if it's hurting my mental health, then I'm not progressing forward. So I've struggled with this a lot over the years, and I think it's also with Jenny's help that she's very emotionally strong, and I admire that a lot about her. Mm, she, as soon as work stops, bum, and that's it.
Yeah.
She's her happy self again.
Oh, bless.
And even with work, it's not like doom and gloom. So I try not to take that pressure of work home. At the end of the day, it's mostly stuff you tell yourself, or it's an idea. It's all internal. There's no actually, or I'm lucky that in the company there's no, there's no exterior thing which is trying to hurt me mentally. There's no bullying. There's no any sort of emotional abuse or any of that. It's simply the art of creating something and then pitching it, being okay with that that thing being refused, being okay with that thing being tweaked, and believing in yourself. Because sometimes I used to struggle with, as I said, I used to do 5 days, and at the end, if you have 5 days to come up with something, and after 5 days you have nothing, then you start sort of looping, you're going around in a circle, and the end result is basically saying, what the hell am I doing here? Like, I'm useless. Like, that's my only job, to come up with something. And I
So
did 5
sometimes-
days and nothing.
So sometimes pressure isn't good.
It was the building of that pressure. So
Overwhelm.
what I did is, yes, exactly, overwhelmed. So what I did is I segmented that pressure. So I'm feeling the pressure of the deadline on the first day. I'm not relaxed on the first day, kind of relaxed on the second, stressing by the third, going into a full panic mode on the fifth, going home, hating myself after the second, third, fourth day, feeling useless. So the fact that I have a touch point on the first day, now I know these are my ideas so far. And now I come up with nowadays I only have 2 days max to come up with it. Maybe one. Most of the
It's
time
gotten worse.
it's one. And in one day now, sometimes I have 4 ideas, 5 ideas.
How did you overcome that? That's because it sounded like you had that pressure, you overwhelmed yourself. Was it all? Did you put that pressure? Was it self-inflicted pressure?
It was self-inflicted.
It was
It
how you
was the weight of the role.
and your performance, and you want it to be perfect, kind of thing.
You need to, if it's a team, everyone needs to carry their weight. And if you're given 5 days to do something and you show up with nothing, or you go into their office on the fourth day panicking, like, I have nothing. Like, and then there were cases whereby we have ads that I love to this day, and whereby I went in their office on the third day, fourth day, I'm shit, I know nothing, you should fire me, like that, till that point. And then they would like sit me down, okay, calm down. What ideas do you have so far? I have this idea, but then when it goes here, it's unclear, and I have this and this, and tell me,
That's really good.
that's quite good.
Oh,
That's the idea. And then I think, like, calm down, work on it for 5 minutes. I work on it, and now it's out there, and it's those ideas that the client comes back. We're really happy with this. This really made a boom online and stuff like that. And till this day, Maria still tells me, you were going to throw that away.
Oh, bless. Because it's that pressure you put on yourself. That thing you talked about earlier about a creative being perfect, right? And being scared of the unknown, or actually, it is scared. You were scared. It sounds like you were scared of judgment, because I guess it reflects back on you and what you can deliver, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes we just have to let that judgment go and just accept rejection, to let go of that pressure sometimes.
It's believing in yourself
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day. I think yeah, it's but this system of setting small deadlines really helped,
Good.
especially if you're uh, especially if you're used to, if you're one of those people who at school you were like me, that the assignment they give it to you a month from now,
Mm.
you know, the deadline is a month from now, and you do the whole month
Relaxing at the beach.
exactly relaxing, and then the last week you said, okay, let me get started. That deadline is, you're just trying to, and you tell yourself no, but it's marinating in my head and I don't want to rush it, and I don't wanna. The best way is to just sit down and start jotting something down.
Yeah.
It's okay, it can be shit, it's fine. Jot something down and then fix it and fix it and fix it, and sometimes yes, you have to throw it all away. But and I do that a lot. I do that. I have like 2 days to come up with something, or I have one day to come up with something, and I pitch them, and everyone's on board internally. They love it. We're gonna start seeing how to present it, and I can't sleep, and I stay up, and I find this other idea that I like better, and I call them up the next day, tell them, guys, be patient with me. What I pitched yesterday was complete shit, even though everyone liked it. We're gonna do this new thing,
Okay.
and they were like,
They
and
got used to you now, though, I
they've
guess.
got used to it, and I'm blessed to say, you know, that they don't just say, Matt, no, we're going with the idea you came yesterday. The work is we've already started working towards that, so they are. You know, the fact that they allow me to put a stop and say no, this is my department, I'm not happy with this, I need, because the fact, if I stayed up during the night, it was clear that even though I pitched it, and you pitch it because you have a deadline, and if that's what you came up with that day and you spent all day trying to come up with that, then that's what you came up with. But if your mind is still going on, you haven't reached your own standard. And I think that's the most important.
I'd like to point out is that your environment, your team, you've adapted to them, but they have adapted to you, and that's great. And I want to like give a shout out, because that sounds like a really healthy environment.
Yeah.
You sound like you have a great team on your hand, like in your hands. Is that good English? You have a great team, basically. I don't know them all. Sometimes I used to come and see them once in a while, and I know they're good people, but not on top of that, they're not just good people. I think they're good at what they do, and they trust you, and you trust them. It's really great. Man, that's rare. I think in Malta it's rare to find a company where you feel like you can grow and trust the team, right?
No, what I'm trying to say is that everybody contributes. So even though the concept generation and the idea comes from me, as we said before, it's not just that. So it's how to communicate that with the client, and how to make sure we get to that end point. And Maria is always on that front. Sean comes in with how to sell it, and keeping that, you know, that brief in mind, and seeing, Sean sees a lot from, he sees other people's perspective a lot, so he's constantly thinking, okay, how will the client receive this? Are we going into too much detail here that they don't care about? What are their pain points? What are they thinking when they're seeing this concept? Because we are getting excited because we're going to use this special shot. We're getting excited because we're going to get to work with this actor. But the client does, you know, it's definitely not that priority. That's not the list of things that they're looking out for. So to see it from that angle, and to help build the pitch so that idea can come to light, that's amazing. I think uh, I had managed to find this phrase. I'm not sure how. I could never get the words to it, but basically the way to master life and something I resonate with is where you don't feel that okay, I'm going to work now. Okay, it's time to have fun now. Okay, it's time to it's it's just work and fun can be one thing. When I'm at home, especially when your job is trying to come up with ideas, for me to shut off exactly as I leave the door, it doesn't help. Sometimes, as soon as my head hits the pillow, all these ideas start to come. So I have a little notebook and a little
Okay.
pen next to my bed, and sometimes I write down and I stick post-its to my phone, so I cannot remove my alarm before I see the post-it. And I really don't mind that blend of life, leisure, and work, and it's all one to me. It before I used to struggle a lot with as I told you, I struggle with multitasking. And I try to if I have a project, I would like to close off that section of the project. So if I'm trying to come up with an idea for an advert, I try to okay, let's close it off and then start, I don't know, pre-production on another project. But that's not always the case, and I don't always have that luxury. So right now I am coming up with ideas for 2 or 3 projects at the same time. So that has also the way of kind of not shutting off has helped me to okay, if I have 3 days, it's not only those 3 days, but I have the time between those work days that is also there to help me. And it's not, oh, I'm working or I'm at home. I am open to the ideas, and it's amazing where certain ideas can come from,
I
like
love that.
photos, like things people say, videos, YouTube, films, a piece of music. Amazing how much music
Inspire
can
you.
inspire you sometimes.
I
Yeah,
can imagine, like, in your personal life. So when you leave the office, when you leave the studio, I can imagine you hanging out with friends, listening to music, and we say some funny things together. And I can see how sometimes your eyes kind of beam, and you're like, I can see like something coming up in your head. You're like, what did we say? And like most of the time, I'm just like, what did I say? Because I'm a bit of an idiot and I don't really know what I'm saying most of the time. But I can see like something tinkering in your head, and we've inspired you. So that's cool. I can see it very much in you.
come from anyone.
I don't know if they're good, but basically these myths, or I don't know what you call them, but basically these people on the internet believe, like there's a lot of people who believe in this, and I'm going to say it doesn't mean I believe in it. It's just challenging you to like rebut it.
Okay.
If that makes sense. And I don't understand it either. I don't know if you'll understand it. It was really difficult because I try to do myths for every episode. One of
Okay.
them is creative directors who open up about mental health will lose authority and respect. Does that make sense to you?
I can't imagine any role that
That's
opens up about
that's
mental
so silly,
health
but
will lose.
that's something that
Um,
people believe in the industry. Can you believe it?
there is a.
Can you see it anywhere else, at least, if not within yourself or within your team? Do you see it in the industry?
I think it's there's a time and place for everything. So I'm someone who likes to talk. And there were I have this notebook that I've formed over the 10 years about do's and don'ts. And I try to stick with them when I can. But something that I used to find myself speaking too much, and then I kind of regret it.
Speaking too much, but like about personal life?
Yeah, yeah. I'm a terrible at secrets. So
Ah,
I'm like everyone knows everything about me usually. So it's like after I meet you for 10 minutes, then
you know your
you
whole
can know
life.
my whole life story. Yeah, exactly. So I used to, especially like when you work on a film set, it's information. It's sometimes better to on a if you need to know basis.
Makes sense.
And it took me some time to
Learn
to
that.
learn that. If the client, I don't know, has some opinion about the actor, it's useless me going to share that with the actor. It's not going to help that actor.
Of course, it probably will make them underperform.
Yeah, yeah. So you need to kind of filter that message, and I think it's the same with it's any information, but I don't know like a specific opportunity that will make people. I used to feel like if I joke a lot, then I have one of my notes is act serious and people will take you seriously.
So I guess it does kind of, because over
But
here it's
it's
challenging
mental health is not
authority.
serious. I mean, I'm talking about jokes, and there's a certain time to make fun of something. And if you're pressured with time, for example, and you make a joke, suddenly you are opening up. And as a director on set, you're leading the day. So you are setting the vibe. If suddenly everything goes, that's not a vibe you want on a set.
Actually, to challenge this a little bit more, as a creative director on set, I can imagine you having to be very aware of how everyone's feeling, right? By looking at the environment. And I think you have a lot of responsibility to make sure that if you sense that someone is a bit off, it's up to you to like bring them up, even though you don't know what's wrong with them, right? I can imagine you doing that to some degree. Is that true?
I wish it was more true.
Oh.
I wish I would try harder at that. But I think I try to do that. But my first priority is maintaining this idea of calm. So maybe when you say revealing a certain mental health, if I am stressed, it doesn't help. We've had days where I show up stressed on the day and I notice everyone is stressed
I see.
because everyone is
Everyone's looking up to you.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
this is maybe what it refers to, maybe presenting yourself a certain way. So if you're stressed or if you're having a bad day, the worst case scenario, a loved one dies. Probably you as a director, on that day, you either do the right thing and say, listen, today we're not gonna film because we're not gonna perform good because I'm not good, right? Or you choose not to tell everyone, but it comes out and everyone feels it, and then the production goes badly,
Yeah.
right?
I rarely have I never have the opportunity to move a filming day. It's not I
But
don't
you have recognized that the mood in the room has changed because they do look up to you, I guess, because you are leading them the way.
yeah. It's how you it's if I'm stressed and I ask you to do something, you're gonna sense that stress, and that will replicate, and you'll feel that ripple throughout the set. So yeah, I think it's important to maintain to be a host. Once you're directing, you're kind of hosting people. So uh, a lot of help comes from the assistant director. Actually, the assistant director does a lot of the heavy lifting to make sure we get to the day on the schedule and sorry and go through the whole process, seeing that all the departments are working together. But yeah, as the director, you have to, especially for the actors, and it's also then you have to create that vibe of like sometimes when it's a funny advert or we're filming something which is comical, it's good to pass a joke. It's good to set that vibe. It's good to, guys, people, we need to feel this. If it's funny behind the monitor, I want to laugh. If it's emotional, I want to feel moved. So it's very important to have that vibe. So your personal mental health on the day, to a certain extent, has to take a backseat, and you need to focus on getting through the day and guiding your crew. There comes to a point in a project where you say, "Listen, we have to sit down," and
We can't do this again.
yeah, we try to talk through, and nowadays we do it. We try to do it with all the clients. So we sit down and we say, "Okay, could there be something we could have done better?"
Because you do it internally, but you can also do it with your clients, especially if they want to work with you again.
Yeah.
But to be even better next time, I think sitting down with them and giving them that review as much as they give you a review helps you become more of a team. And like I said earlier, if they don't feel like they're part of the project, they're not going to be as connected and passionate about the result as much as you are.
Yeah.
Matt, I have one last question. And the question to end off the episode basically would be to think about if you were in a room with budding creatives, right? Creative directors who are just starting out. What advice would you give them?
Start with something shitty and um, improve it till it gets better. That's on the creative aspect. On the uh, on the other aspect, it is the importance about knowing how to work with people, and understanding people is the goal to life, I think. So once you get to that point to understand people, then once you're, if people don't understand you, you can have the best idea, you won't sell it. So that form of understanding, uh, even if people don't really believe in the creative idea or can believe it's completely wrong, but if we understand each other and I have faith in you and you have faith in me, you're gonna tell me, go ahead. I believe in you. I think if you believe it will work, go ahead. And what's more, I've had that from clients. Like, it's very reassuring to hear. I can't see it at the moment, but you sound really sure about it. Go ahead. And that's like, wow, you're taking a real leap with a large amount of money that, you can't see it and I can see it, and you're giving me the go ahead. I think that's no, that's the parts of the job where I feel proud, and I think we feel proud as a team.
I like it. I'm proud of you. My goodness,
Thank you.
I'm
I'm
so
proud
proud
of you.
to have you as a friend. I'll give you a hug. And we can end it. Yeah. My goodness. To end it off, I'll just give you this. And this. And if you need a tissue.
I've never had the 0-0 Sangre del Toro before.
Really?
Well, I've only had a 0-0 wine in my life once.
Oh, I told someone that they can easily have one bottle of normal wine and then to not overdo it, continue with this to feel like they're, so that they don't overdo it.
That's good.
And you don't really hurt. It's full of sugar
good.
still, I think.
Of course, yeah.
And the sugar is probably what's going to make you feel more hungover than anything.